to not pee, XG's on it, man.
I
That's
don't know. That's
Dude,
pretty
during
robot.
my
I mean,
Kill Tony episode, the last hour and a half, I'd say last hour, I had to piss so badly. You notice I'm in none of the pictures after where they get everybody who was on it in the pictures because I had to run and I took the 10-minute piss. I just sat there unloading.
Oh, dude, I thought you were going to say you Fergied it and you just pissed right underneath the table while you were a judge.
That would have been so hilarious.
I've
it would
done
have gone
that. I've
viral.
done
Tony,
that.
Tony loves that shit though. As much as you think it'd kill the show, Tony would be like, "No way."
It's
Sam
just
Tripoli
crazy.
pissing under the table right now.
Yeah, I'm doing it as we speak. So what other crazy historical stories do you have in your book? What's your favorite ones? Any of them?
Well, the one that you inspired was Jack Parsons. We went in on him, and his whole life is terrifying. And then it's
Why is it terrifying?
well, because it's so out and like it's so honest how they do it. They're like, listen, this guy was brilliant and he practiced black magic and he figured out rocket power. Essentially, he figured out rocketry, and he corresponded with a lot of people that went in to do Operation Paperclip, and then were obviously part of the Nazi Party prior to that. And also, he got really into doing drugs and hallucinogens and ritual black magic featuring like ritualistic sex at the Temple of Thelema, and Aleister Crowley's involved. And then he gets betrayed, and he's in a group marriage thing, and his wife leaves him for a false prophet known as L. Ron Hubbard, who starts.
Dude, that is so crazy.
I sat there. Crazy. I was like, no, somebody's messing with me. There's no way somebody Wikipedia'd what I'm reading right now. And then you're like, nope. Jack Parsons, the reason why we have an International Space Station, got pretty much cucked out by L. Ron Hubbard, who wrote Dianetics and Battlefield Earth, and started his entire fleet for the Sea Force or whatever it was called. He started that with Jack Parsons' money that was supposed to be given to him to help fund research for rocket science in America. So we put a man on the moon, if you believe in that. I know there's some contrarian opinions on that, but we've put people into space. There's the idea that we've at least had rockets that have gone into space. And it's because of a man who essentially worshiped the devil and smoked a lot of crazy substances and took part in like large black mass orgies. So everything, all the stuff that they talk about from the satanic panic of the 90s, it was real, and it was just being celebrated as NASA.
Satanic Panic was a giant psyop that got itself ready for what we just went through the last 4 years, which was to convince people that the whole Satanic Panic thing was bullshit. And that people aren't worshiping Satan. These are just crazy Christians. So all that was bullshit. Because if you even studied West Memphis 3, there's a good chance those guys did it. And there's a good chance because Damian Nichols or whatever his name
Damian Eccles, you're saying for real? You think he did it?
Yeah.
Whoa, dude. All right. Shout out to my boy, Andy Highroller. He made me watch all 3 of those documentaries during COVID. Holy shit. I've never heard somebody say they did it.
Dude, I can hook you up with a guy that I have 2 people that have been on my show that have talked about when you actually listen to the interrogation tapes, he knows all these details that nobody but the killer would know.
Whoa. Because they framed the one dad at the end, I think, right? Holy shit.
Look at all the people who came out for the West Memphis 3. They're all suspect now. They're all shady ass motherfuckers up to no good, And even like Johnny Depp, who obviously was the end of some weird shit with Amber Heard. Like it would take somebody like Amber Heard to make Johnny Depp look like a good guy.
Right on.
Right? So I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying he might be into some shady shit. And I've just had William Ramsey's come on and talked about, and William Ramsey pulls no punches. He's like, those motherfuckers did it. And he has a great crime podcast where he studies all that shit. And we've had other people on who've talked about how, like, yeah, dude, those guys 100% did it. And they had they knew details that nobody else knew about. And I think Eccles like basically alludes to it sometimes about all the dark sorcery he's in.
He's not helping himself. I'll say that much. His Instagram account, if you follow it, he's just doing like it's always ritualistic magic stuff or going into astrology and stuff like that. You know, the dark magician alludes to this or whatever. And he's, you know, his wife is well, first of all, his kid from the first one's got to be in her 20s now, right? Do you guys know about Johnny and XG? Do you guys know the story or no?
Of what? The West Memphis?
Not like that.
I mean, I've seen all the documentaries and everything. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, I just want to make sure we weren't just Sam and I weren't on some weird.
No. I mean, I was here for the episodes that he's talking about too, where I'm not necessarily convinced of their guilt, just because I mean, I know that police are. You can't trust what you see in an interrogation clip. You know, they feed people. They feed suspects lines. You know, information before and then start recording once they've done that. So I don't necessarily believe that because they might have had knowledge of the crime scenes and stuff that they were guilty.
Yeah, I never heard anybody say that they thought the kids did it. So Sam Tripoli, you are the first man. You're going to make me look at this case with a new set of eyes now.
Can I turn you on to a guy? You should. I mean, it might not fit your podcast, but maybe you could do an interview. William Ramsey. You should look up.
William Ramsey, 100%. Babe, William Ramsey.
Babe,
we got to go.
And Damien Echols' kid is like 21 now, I believe. Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry. Let's see. He was born in 93, so I'm sorry, 31. Yeah, 31.
That's insane, dude. That's insane. I remember Eddie Vedder showing up in the courtroom for that thing. That was just crazy.
Oh, yeah, wow. I mean, that's just some weird ass shit.
Could do without
weird ass shit.
Anyways, Pearl Jam. Anyway,
going back to Jack Parsons, you know, the fact that this is all you need to know about L. Ron Hubbard is Aleister Crowley contacted Jack Parsons because they knew each other and was like, dude, that guy's shady as shit. NASA and the occult, bro. Have you heard the new theory that a gentleman came on and talked about on my show?
What's the new theory?
NASA is the head of all the intelligence agencies. It is the head snake.
That does not. I'll tell you what. This is my favorite. So I lived in Jacksonville, Florida. We used to do gigs down in Cocoa Beach sometimes. And there was a huge thing when NASA left Cocoa Beach because it was known as the Space Coast. And people were sitting there and they were heartbroken that NASA was leaving. And one of my best friends, one of my favorite comics, his name is Chris Buck. He went up on stage there and he goes, "What are you guys sad about NASA leaving for?" He goes, "Do they deserve every terrible thing that could happen to them?" And they think he's going to go. And he goes, "They killed a school teacher on national television and got away with it."
So if you study space is the only thing that all of these countries all agree upon. I mean, if we got a space station and Russia and the United States are working together on a space station, but on land, they're threatening nuclear war to each other. Yeah. They're on the verge of World War III, but somehow in space, they're like, let's just get along. My friend, you are correct. We will get along and we will do it in space. You're like, okay, gotcha.
Antarctica too, right? Isn't there a whole agreement?
Antarctica in space, dude.
Reading.
Just watch The Thing the other day again. Makes me think of it every time.
Yep, dude. It's weird ass shit, dude.
How plugged in do you think John Carpenter was, by the way?
What?
Like in terms of directors that can know stuff, like John Carpenter and James Cameron are two guys that I always think are plugged in. David Lynch too, where they know something and they're not allowed to talk about it because they're all studying like
Kubrick too, I would say.
100%.
Kubrick for sure.
He knew stuff. And then obviously there's always the creepy thing about how he died a few days after Eyes Wide Shut came out. But David Lynch talks about the way that Hollywood works, where remember they're going to cast, I think it was in Mulholland Drive, they were going to cast a certain person in a movie or something. They said, no, that person's no good. And this just weird cowboy arrives and goes, no, you're going to do this. And they never explain who he is. He's just a dark mystic force. What? Twin Peaks, they allude to interdimensional travel, all this other stuff. James Cameron's always been like 40 years ahead on the future for everything he's supposed to talk about. And John Carpenter gets slept on all the time for this one. John Carpenter's The Thing. He figured it out, man. He's like, yeah, there's stuff going on in the Antarctic that we don't know about and they don't want us to ever find out about. and they're just going to keep it isolated down there. And then he did another movie, I think the same year that he did Big Trouble in Little China. It was called Prince of Darkness, and he essentially figures out that what was it? He read a book on I'm trying to remember. I think it was nuclear physics.
Dude, you're nailing this. You're 100% correct.
they're
John
all plugged in.
Carpenter is so plugged into everything. I mean, the most conspiracy movie of all time. They Live.
It's so on the nose that I literally didn't mention it. What's on me, dude? They Live is 100% there. Prince of Darkness was nuts because it showed what was his conspiracy in there. He read about something. I can't remember what. He finally tried to understand physics, I guess. And then they were talking about dark matter and antimatter. He goes, "Oh, that's got to be evil, right?" And they're like, "Well, no, not necessarily." He goes, "No, that's evil. I've heard about this in the Bible before." And he linked the Bible up to, this weird substance that's growing in the church. Have you seen the movie or no?
What, They Live?
No, Prince of Darkness.
Oh.
No, I don't think I have seen a movie.
No.
Super slept on Carpenter movie. He was way too smart for his idea was too big to be captured in a 1987 movie. I'll put it that way, but it's unnerving still. And it's essentially, he's saying that science is the answer to how to solve evil trying to come in through another dimension. Ooh. And it's all there. He's as plugged in as anybody I've ever seen, man. And I think that's why they ruined his life. New York's a penal colony. Do you believe it?
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. I just had this guy again. We mentioned him on the last episode. It's actually coming after this episode. But this Ben Bumgarner, and he was talking about how like he actually believes that the Tower of Babel wasn't a giant building that went high, but it was actually a fucking a CERN type thing, a portal. And that these, I mean, like you look at CERN, the statue is the destroyer, Shiva the destroyer, and like the destroyer is mentioned constantly over and over and over and over and over again in different religions and with different names, the destroyer, the destroyer, the destroyer. Mm-hmm. And he thinks this is what they're going to do. This is how they're going to let other entities enter into this dimension. And CERN, Eddie Bravo thinks CERN is just a giant money laundering thing, but I don't know, man. Something tells me it's Switzerland where all the evil comes out of. We think it's Switzerland, like, oh, Swiss Miss Pudding Girl and all that shit, right? But it's like, really, it's like the shadiest fucking place ever. All the lizard demon people are there. And it's like it fits into what you were just talking about, Carpenter, about battling these interdimensionals coming into this realm. Like, is that what's going to happen out of CERN? That's what they keep talking about. And like pretty soon these things might be roaming the earth.
I'm not afraid until
I'm
not afraid maybe 20 years from now. I have some faith because he had a son, so I feel like we're going to be protected. But essentially, Kurt Russell is the reason why the realm has not fallen. Kurt Russell is the only thing holding us back from the end of days.
I'm listening. Explain.
Oh, Kurt Russell, he's the hero in all the John Carpenter movies. He's the only guy. When he
and Roddy Piper, who's no longer with us. Rest in peace, Piper.
Roddy was the greatest.
The original podcaster, by the way. Piper's Pit is the original podcast.
He's really a Kurt Russell type too, when you think about it. I mean,
Kurt Russell played Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper never played Kurt Russell. Don't you ever?
That's right.
That.
Okay. Roddy Piper, the only man that could be. He's what was he? He represented 3 nations at once. He was Canadian, but he was a Scottish hero in America.
Yeah, for sure. And it's very interesting you bring up Kurt Russell, because Kurt Russell's a big, and I don't know if they're going to bring it back, Apple, but Project Monarch, which is the Godzilla TV show on Apple, which a lot of people believe that the monsters of that are all Nephilims.
Whoa, okay. I think his son's in it too, right?
Yes, his son plays him, a younger guy.
Oh, that's hilarious then. Dude, that's fantastic. Kurt Russell's the shit. He's one of the, if Kurt Russell came out and said, I'm endorsing Kamala Harris, there'd be part of me that'd be like, all right, is she really, maybe she's wonderful, because Kurt Russell has never been wrong for me. And at the same time, I would sit there and be like, what did you do? What dirt do they have
Oh yeah,
on Goldie Hawn?
100%.
Are you threatening Goldie Hawn's life? Because he'll endorse you right now, but within 90 days, there's going to be a severed head rolling down the stairs, and Kurt Russell's going to make everything right again.
I'm 100% Tombstone, all about Tombstone. He was great in that.
Oh, that was a fantastic film. Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in so long, but I used to watch it all the time. Loved it. He was also good in that. What was it? The Vanishing? Was he in that? Remember, it was the one where his like girl disappears.
Breakdown.
Yeah, because I confuse it with The Vanishing. They're very similar films. Yeah, Breakdown. I enjoyed that when I was. My dad would take me to see completely age inappropriate films when I was a kid. He'd just take me to see whatever he was seeing, and that was one of those. I had to be like 5 or 6. But yeah, Breakdown. That was a good one.
Breakdown's dark, man. It's and it's entirely plausible too.
Very
You
dark.
just the people that are trying to help you are out to get you. And that's what you got to be the most concerned about. The helping hand is the one prepared to stab you.
Was it who was the villain in that? It was hold on.
There was a couple. There was I want to say what's his name is in it. The guy who was the pilot from Con Air. Their evil pilot, the con pilot.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, I'm pulling
I
up
can't-
this now.
Yeah, his name's like Gator or something like that. By the way, Sam, Con Air is the movie that people with ADHD, it's like smooth jazz to them.
Why?
My girlfriend, who I love to death, has severe ADHD and she can't watch movies because she just winds up getting bored or something like that or doing something else. Con Air is so overwhelming of the senses that it just calms ADHD people. They're like, this is like smooth jazz. I'm in a cafe along the river right now eating, beignets. And
One of my favorite bits I ever did was that Nicolas Cage is a time traveler who's come here to warn us about the future, because everyone in Nicolas Cage's movies is warning us about a threat to humanity. You name the movie, it's a lesson to learn about the elites, and it's all of them. All of them. I don't care what it is. Raising Arizona is about human trafficking. Okay, that's what that's about. You can go through all
Nailed
of it.
it. Oh man, you're a face off, obviously.
Makes me worry about
That's cloning. That's
Longlegs now.
AI.
Longlegs now. It just came out.
I gotta watch that.
He was-
Nicolas Cage is probably has the best career of anybody of all time because he can play campy shit, fun shit.
Oh,
You know-
dude, and he's been in some great stuff lately. Like that movie with the guy. What's his name? The guy from Game of Thrones who played the Viper. The Red Viper. He's in everything now too.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal. He's in that film with him. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's fantastic. He's in this.
That's a
film
great movie.
You want to talk about just a mind fuck of a movie? He's in this film, Mandy. Have you seen this Mandy?
No.
Where his
I
wife-
literally so I was at Side Splitters. They cannot wait to have you down there again, Sam.
Side Splitters? Yeah, I'm there.
I was just there this past weekend.
It's a great club. How is Tampa doing after all that hurricane stuff?
what is that Mandy
Honestly.
by there or something?
Side
so
Splitters?
it's weird.
It's a comedy club.
No, how'd that come out of Mandy? I was just
Yeah.
I literally just watched Mandy while I was chilling at the condo. When you're not selling Sam Tripoli tickets, they make you stay in the comedy condo. At that club.
Perfect.
And so I'm sitting there on the condo, and on Hulu is Mandy, and I rewatched Mandy. And the first time you watch it, and back me up on this one, Johnny, if you felt the same way I did. I was horrified, but I couldn't look away. And then the second time, I'm like, oh wow, I still don't know what this movie's about. I knew what was going to happen, and I still don't know.
it's got
nuts.
layers to it, man. It's so deep. Yeah,
He
it's
goes somewhere.
brutal.
That's interdimensional.
Yes, Color Out of Space too is this other one he was in. It has a similar sort of. I don't know if you've seen that one. It's about aliens purportedly.
Lovecraft, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's Lovecraft. Yeah. Oh man, he's a guy who really seems to be able to do whatever he wants to do, choose what he wants to do, and kind of pursue it, whether it's good or not.
If Biden had a sense of
personally.
humor, Biden would be hiding. Like, first of all, Biden should fuck with Trump. He should take like the batteries out of all the remotes and all the.
Well,
TVs.
did you know that's what Clinton did to W? They took all the W's off all the keyboards in the White House before George W. Bush took off. They just went.
Oh, that's
every
hysterical.
keyboard and took the W off of it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Clinton used to work with his daddy on smuggling cocaine into the country, so that they probably know each other from way back in the day.
And if you're gonna
Oh,
take the
family
batteries out of the,
reunions.
and if you're gonna take the batteries out of control, take them off the fire detectors while you're at it.
Oh, that's the guy who's afraid to get deported. Okay, I gotcha. Would you got one more story for us? Any other stories stick out that? So
I'll tell you what, we'll let chance. If you guys believe in chance, I'm just going to randomly open up to one real quick.
Pick a number, Johnny. Okay, and go on.
All right, let him yeah, he says he's going to open to a page.
Let's see. We're going to just do this. We'll do this. We'll land on.
This is a great idea for a book, dude.
I'm very excited. Again, the book
I'm going to get a book.
that.
I'm going to get the. Did I give you my address so you can send me a book?
You did. So I have some stuff coming your way, man.
Okay,
and
I
share the other
really
stuff with the
want
guys
to.
too,
I'll
if you
read this
can.
book. This is perfect.
They're one hitters, man. It's great. So the book is all right. This was all right. Perfect. Now I wanted to leave it up to fate, but we can't trust fate. We got to make our own luck here. The guy who created SEAL Team 6, did you know we threw him in prison?
No. What?
All right. So this is the greatest. I'm a Navy veteran. I'm very proud of the service that I wanted to join my whole life. I was very patriotic. I was so right wing on so many things, especially in a post 9/11 world where I'm like, I'm going to get over there. We're going to punish the people responsible. And then you see firsthand how the machine works a little bit, even on the low level that I saw it. And you're like, all right, this isn't exactly what I thought. Maybe I'm not a military guy. I'm doing a little too much. I'd like to agree with the things I'm doing instead of just blindly following them. So that being said, there's a guy, an American hero named, and he's not well thought of in the SEAL communities. I have friends that are Navy SEALs that told me that you can't talk about this guy in public too often.
Oh, really?
So his full name is Richard Marcinko, but his nickname was Demo Dick. Right? That was short for Demolition Dick, which what a porn star name if he wanted it to. But he was a Navy SEAL. And the SEALs, before the modern idea of the Navy SEALs, the David Boreanaz or the Bruce Willis style of Navy SEALs that we know of, that culture came from what he brought to it. So he created a SEAL team. He fought with the SEAL teams in Vietnam, who came from the Frogmen, which was underwater demolition people. And then this is where it gets the home run immediately. He should be in the Hall of Fame just for this one idea. They help him after the Iranian hostage crisis goes poorly. They put him in charge of a full-time counterterrorism team for the United States that can deploy anywhere in the globe at a moment's notice, and they're all well-trained experts. And he goes, all right, well, I got to get some cowboys from hell. So he starts this process of all right, well, what candidates? And if you showed up and you were a badass candidate, you're like, I can do all the physical stuff. I can swim. I've seen combat before, but you didn't drink and chew tobacco like the other guys. He goes, you're a pretty great guy, but we can't really trust you. We got to get you drunk and fucked up, find out what you're all about. And most of the Navy SEALs early on died just during training because the training was so rigorous. So this guy had this great idea. They said, what do you want to name this team for this counterterrorism thing to kind of strike fear into the heart of our enemies? And he goes, call it SEAL Team 6. And he goes, why would we do that? We only have 3 SEAL teams. He goes, yeah, but I want Russia to think we have 3 more you don't know about. So he creates SEAL Team 6. They become the most badass force on earth in terms of cowboys from hell. They're pulling off all sorts of stuff. They're dropping bodies that we're still not even sure about some of the bodies that they're dropping. And then when his time is up over there, he leaves the command and he starts a group called Red Cell. And Red Cell's whole mission was they were supposed to test base security. That's what they were supposed to do. They got so good at it because his guys, he brought in all of his old Navy SEAL buddies. And he goes, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to break into our own base. So again, this is why I'm linking this one up for you. Ready, Sam? Nicolas Cage came from the future to warn us about this from the movie The Rock.
Damn!
Okay.
Ed Harris, great film.
There we go.
Oh, it's a monster movie, man. So the Navy SEALs, it's Demo Dick Marcinko is breaking into bases. He gets so good because American security is so lackadaisical. He's supposed to show where the weak points are, the weak points in our security. And he actually gets so good that he plants a bomb near Air Force One. He also hijacks a nuclear submarine. What else can he do? He starts kidnapping high-ranking.
Crazy.
He was amazing, and he pissed off so many people because if you were in charge of base security and Demo Dick, not only would he do this, Demo Dick was pretty much treating. This is a perfect example, and I hope XG is with me on this one. I think Johnny's going to be. Demo Dick Marcinko was humiliating people and running roughshod over military bases in the United States as if he was the Outsiders era of the NWO running roughshod over WCW.
That's
They were just showing up with
hilarious,
smacking people around, dude. They would take admirals and they would kidnap them. And they would hold them up in like hotel rooms for a couple of days, get them to crack under pressure and stuff like that. And then here's the best part, they'd videotape all of it.
No.
And then send it. So they got in so much trouble, man, that all these officers were out to get them. So the deep state comes in. Here you go, the deep state, which, by the way, my definition of deep state is just unelected officials in power for longer than any sort of a term. They all get together and they're like, we're tired of Demo Dick Marcinko beating us up and exposing our secrets and making us look stupid. So they put him on trial the same way they did Steve Bannon. And they hit him up for what's he wind up serving? I think he served 6 months in prison for I can't believe I'm blanking right now. What's it called? Oh, it's a kickback trial for his time as a commander in SEAL Team 6. So it's like a weapons contract or something that they thought that he was getting kickback money on. It was a total witch hunt trial. They throw him in jail and they say, Demo Dick, you were an American hero. You fought in Vietnam. You helped create SEAL Team 6. You helped create Red Cell.
Unbelievable.
What was your 6 months in prison like? And he goes, my easiest deployment.
I'm sure, dude. What is that? What is that television show, Johnny, that I love with the big blonde guy that's like and he goes and fights crime? The Hatcher, the Watcher, what is it called? It's the new one where he just solves crimes oh man. And it's like everyone's yeah, he's the blonde guy. What's his name? What's that? That's
Supernatural
what
stuff.
No, dude, he's just like the super soldier who just ends up showing up.
Not it's the one that Tom Cruise
Jack
played.
Reacher?
Yeah, Jack Reacher. Yeah.
That's what this guy reminds me of. He goes to prison, he's just running it within 2 seconds, fucking everybody up. Imagine that's your fucking your
underrated movie, by the way. The Tom Cruise movie, Jack Reacher movie, was great.
Is it really?
I love the TV show, even though the guy started going really woke towards
everything's woke. Everything's so woke.
No, but like the actor was like getting really woke. I'm like, okay, dude, could you just shut up unless be homoerotic about you and your fighting and your body, please? Let us. I mean, every guy watches it going, oh, I'd love to be that Bill.
I heard the Jack Ryan TV show is pretty good too. Speaking of Jack's on TV.
I dug it.
Yeah. Oh, you saw it? Was it good?
I dug it. Yeah, my father and I always get together and watch stuff like that. So we watched almost every season. The last season was the best, I thought. But the problem is they keep killing off anybody who's interesting, because Sam's right. Like anytime they start to see somebody that people are galvanizing towards, like, oh, cool, a return to, some sort of a traditional masculine culture, they're like, oh no, that guy died. Yeah, he did, because he did something really stupid and totally out of character. So they keep killing anybody who's interesting.
Well, now you got Penguin. Penguin is the leading man. And Penguin, have you noticed that if you watch that show, every plan he has just blows up in his face and he gets bailed out by somebody else. He's just an idiot.
But it's good though, right? It's good though, right? Penguin?
Yeah, it's good. No, it's good.
It's good. It is woke. It is woke. I don't care what anyone says. A handicapped bad guy, a fucking waif model chick is running the mob, and a Puerto Rican with a stuttering. All we're missing is Batman in a wheelchair, and we would have the most woke fucking show possible.
Have you seen the finale?
Great show. What?
Have you watched the finale?
Dana and I haven't watched it yet. Is it good or is it garbage?
I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited.
I started watching The Seed of Chucky, and I thought it was going to be pretty crazy, gory. And Chucky ends up friends with the gay kid that owns the doll. And real Chucky would have murdered that gay ass kid. He would have called him a faggot and stabbed him. And no, now he's nice friends with them, and he protects them from his dad that hates the gays. So it makes no sense.
Seed of Chucky. I didn't even know that was a movie. The Seed of Chucky.
The whole series. No, it's a whole season on Hulu. It's a whole season on Chucky being friends with the gay kid.
They can't help themselves. I mean, it's just when you realize that LA is in mourning because of Kamala, you just realize that like Hollywood has like 5 years of pain coming where they're just going to have to clean the gut. They're going to have to gut out all of these woke people and get back to real shows.
Oh, it's just called Chucky though. Seed of Chucky is a movie, and then
it's called Chucky or something like that. But it's on Hulu, and it's fucking so woke. Literally, Chucky would have killed that little kid. Dude,
Jason Voorhees is just wants to. He realizes he shouldn't be killing people. He wants to help the gay orphans. Is that what? That's what's going to come out? Hey, KP, great